It's like me trying to get up in the morning. Every morning it's like, no, try again. Hey, there we go.
Alright. That's my foot flat to the floor.
In second.
Yeah, and then it stops at 3k, so you have to change up gear. Again, same thing. We've just reached 30 miles an hour. It's very fun. Now I've got to change gear. 4th gear.
Typical BMW drivers, eh?
I'm in limp mode. Why has this happened? Why is my car in a limp mode, and why is the DPF light on? Well, if you guys remember from a few videos back, I installed a EGR Delete, which the EGR is a big thing in most modern diesel cars. It recycles all the fumes and everything back into the engine to get burnt off and then goes out the exhaust. Whereas now I've taken the EGR out, all of them fumes, all of that soot is going straight to the DPF, and it's clogged it up in no time at all. Which is now why the car's gone into a limp mode. The DPF light is on and I've got no power. I take back everything that I said. I was very arrogant about the DPF. And if you remove that, that's the thing that makes your exhaust and your car go. It's mainly for performance if you delete the DPF, and it's for people who think that black smoke coming out the back of the diesel car looks cool. I pretty much just read one paragraph online about the DPF. I didn't really look into it enough. They work together. And if you're gonna get rid of the EGR, you really do need to do something about the DPF. So where we're headed now is, we're going, ooh.
Nice.
We're headed to Mo's garage. This guy Mo is gonna help me out. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get the car up on the ramps, take the DPF out, cut the DPF open to see what it looks like on the inside. We're gonna clean it out, we're gonna weld it back up, and we're gonna put it back on the car. And hopefully, my car will be absolutely beautiful. And then the car's gonna be getting a remap. So we're gonna push this baby, see what it can get. Because this is the 170 version, I've been told they can be pushed to 210, but I want to keep things sensible. I still want it to be fuel efficient. We're going to get it to around 200 brake, and then hopefully get like 10% better fuel economy as well. So the DPF is going to be happening today, and then the mapping is going to be happening tomorrow. Should be a good couple of days. We'll catch up with you guys once we're there, and hopefully everything goes smoothly. Let's go.
I wasn't filming any of that.
Yeah, you were.
No, I wasn't.
You joking? We made it, and we're here. The car is just about to get up on the ramps. Gonna have a look underneath, and I want to see where the DPF is. I know roughly where it is and what it looks like, but I want to see exactly what we're going to be cutting out and cleaning up. But yeah, Mo's doing the work for us, so seriously, big thank you. No worries. So what is it that we're looking at?
So we're looking at the DPF right now.
Which is that big thing?
That big thing over here is quite hot right now. You got a couple of bolts over here to open it. You already done the EGR delete, so it makes it much easier to work on it.
So hopefully this should go quite smoothly.
Hopefully.
To have enough room to drop the DPF out of the car, Mo went through a few things that we'd have to take off first before we can even think about getting it out of the car. That included taking the drive shaft out, taking the heat shield out, and also removing the back end of the exhaust so that there is actually enough room for the DPF to pull back and drop down. Whilst the car was on the ramps as well, this was a great time to check what needed replacing and what damage had been done to the car from it being lowered. Now we can have a proper look under and see what else is That could definitely do with replacing though. That's the mount that everyone keeps going on about, so now that I've actually seen it, I'm definitely going to change that. That's like sponge. Oh, so that is what I keep scraping every time I come into my drive then.
Basically.
The first job, like I said, is to get the drive shaft out. To do this and to actually successfully have enough room to pull it out, we had to think about what suspension parts we're gonna have to undo to be able to pull the wheel hub out, so there's enough room for the drive shaft to kind of get round it. Once we'd had a look, we knew what ones we were going for. Then it was time to start getting the drive shaft bolts undone, which if anyone has seen most of my Golf videos, you know I'm very familiar with doing drive shafts and it is not a fun job. So I think it's my drive shafts.
I think that's one of the bearings.
And I need to now replace this. It's like, what's the time?
6:30.
6:30.
How much easier is this to do when the car's up in the air?
Much easier than doing it off the floor.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so close, isn't it? There we go, so the drive shaft is now out, almost. There we go, which means that we've now got more room to get up at the DPF. Whew. At least that's that out of the way. Sadly, things don't always go exactly to plan, as this is a 13 or 14-year-old car. Some or most of the bolts that we come across are going to be very rusty, which means that we got to grind through some of them. It is worth noting that there's a lot of sensors that need to be unplugged before you can take the DPF down. At this stage, we've already been on top of the car to remove the bolts that you can get to from above the car, as well as unplug all the sensors that we needed to. And the only thing left undue was to remove the bolt at the bottom and to pull the whole thing out. And that is the DPF. Right, but now we've got to be smart about it, haven't we?
Yes.
Where we cut it open.
That's it. We just open it as how it used to be before.
So it looks standard, kind of.
So it looks standard.
Right, let me just quickly explain what we're doing and why we're talking about cutting it open in a certain way. So the DPF is, on some engines, a factory fitted part. It's kind of like a catalytic converter, but it's not on all diesels. It's on, I think it's mainly just on high performance diesels, because I didn't have this on the Passat. When we're talking about cutting it open in a specific place, say for example you got the DPF here, let me pepper grinder. So say this is the DPF. The airflow comes in from the manifold into there, or like through the turbo into there and out the exhaust. If you cut it open there, like a big square in the middle, and your MOT tester sees that it's been welded up like that, they're going to think they've gutted out the inside of the DPF, which is an MOT failure. They're going to see that the DPF has been played with and they're going to fail it for that reason. It needs to be standard factory. So to cut it open and to take a look inside, what we're doing is we're cutting it along the edge where the factory welds are, so that we can take a look inside, see what it's looking like, and clean it out properly from one side going out to the other. And then literally we're going to place the plate back in, weld it back up. And although the welds are going to look brand new, hopefully it's going to be a bit less obvious that it's been cut open before. Thank you, pepper grinder, for being my prop for that. It's now cut open to reveal everything that's inside, so I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up very well, but that's the thing that gets all clogged up, and yeah, that's what happens when the diesel engine goes into limp mode. You get loads of lights on the dash. It's because of that. So best thing to do, if we're keeping it legal, you got to replace it, or you can try and clean it out. So now that our DPF is nice and clean, we're going to want to get this back in the car, but before we do that, we're going to need to weld the plate back up. So this is where Mo jumps in to save the day. I've never touched a welder before. Maybe in the future I'm going to attempt something like this myself, but for now I'm leaving all of this to the professionals like Mo, who actually knows what he's doing. And I just want to say a big thank you to Mo, because he really took his time when doing this. He made sure everything was perfect before letting me go with the car. So if you guys want to do me a favour, I'm going to put his Instagram up on the screen now, and also link in the description. If you want to go give him a follow, if you're having any issues yourself, give him a visit, give him a message and see what he can do. And And now it's time to get the car back together, put everything back on as it was, put the DPF back onto the car, get the heat shield back on, get the drive shaft back on. We didn't get any footage of trying to get any of the sensors in and out because it's just so dark in the engine bay.
Man-made tool, working really good with this car.
You got to keep that as a relic.
Now the car's pretty much back together, so the last thing that we've got to do is start the car up and see what it's like. It's still on its standard map at the moment, so I'm not expecting the car to run like an absolute dream, but I'm hoping it at least starts so that we can then get it out of its limp mode. Then we're finally going to map it, I think, in the next video. For now, let's get this car started back up, see if it actually starts, see if we remember to plug everything back in.
Not there.
You can probably hear the turbo now. I'm going to end the video here because this video has actually gone on longer than I expected it to. So this one was getting the DPF out and then getting the DPF back in once it's been cleaned. In the next video we're going to map it, like I said, see what mapping we can do. Hopefully this video will be out in a few days. I'm not going to push it to a week. It will be out in a few days. And then after that we're going to go for a drive and see what the car's like. In the next video we're going to run through how you tune the car, what exactly you plug it in and what exactly you do to tell the car that everything's now okay. And we're going to be doing that with downshift remaps. But he's going to be featured in the next video explaining what we're doing as we're going along, mapping the car. And hopefully I've got a working car again. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new around here. Loads more Audi videos to come. Make sure you check out the Corrado videos as well, because I've been posting a few Corrado videos. Recently just been doing most of the service parts. It's got new oil cooler, coolant bits, thermostat, everything like that. It's interesting to take a look at like a slightly modern car with the Audi and then go back to a classic Corrado. So yeah, subscribe for a whole load of things just for me. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching and see you later.